morning. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and we are back again with live gentle yoga with Sarah Little and the Wandering Littles. You can see everybody wandering. Here's Lance, here's Gary Ann, Fubo, Egan and Julia are going to head out of the image. That's a parenting movement right there. You see that? Wasn't that graceful? They're going to move out of the image any second. Okay, so today we're focusing in on feet and legs. Hello, you made it. We're focusing in on feet and legs. So I recommend that you have something to sit on because we're going to start seated with that. And then have a belt or a strap of some sort. So you can use just the belt that you might hold your pants up with. Or you can use something, sorry, I'm out of the picture. Or you can use a yoga strap-like thing if you have such a thing in your house, okay? So I'm glad you're here. Let's get going. We're gonna start seated and get into a little bit of breath work. And I would recommend that you have a tissue nearby in case of snot. Okay, because we're going to do a little nadi shodhana, a little alternate nostril breathing. We have our tissue box here, so we are ready to go.
Our dead tissue box.
Our dead tissue box. Okay, so nadi shodhana is alternate nostril breathing, and it is used to help us balance the right and left sides of the brain. And you can see in, if you just pause for a moment, and we'll do that. Around here, it's hard to get a pause today. But it's going to happen.
No problem for Fubo.
And no, oh yeah, the dog is well
Lots
paused.
of paws.
Lots of paws. He's got 4 paws. All right, now you know how punny I am at home, as well as in the yoga studio. And you have a new vision of our life today. We changed the angles up. We'll see how this works. I need, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few breaths. In and out of your nose. And then see which nostril you're breathing from primarily. So just check right now, notice. And it may be obvious right away, it may not be obvious right away. So if you want to give it a test, just an index finger will do, block one nostril, and then block the other. And you may notice one is a little bit more open. They may both feel pretty open right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to balance out those channels. The left side of the body is thought to be the receptive side of the body, the cooling side of the body, and the right side of the body is thought to be the wake up, moving, let's get going side of the body. So we want to balance out those two energies as we're here. So I recommend Deer Mudra, which is the index finger and middle finger turned down, and then the ring finger and the thumb will be in charge of closing the alternate nostrils. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can do one finger, one finger, one finger. There's no like particular magic in Deer Mudra. It's just a way to conveniently block different nostrils. Okay, so we'll start seated. You're already there. And exhale. Block off your right nostril and inhale through your left. Block your left. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Block your right. Exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Block your left. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Block your right. Exhale through your left. So we're switching nostrils on the exhale. Continue inhaling left. Switching. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Switching. Exhaling left. We're going to do about 5 more rounds. I'm not going to cue. You're going to work with your breath, your body. One more cycle. Ending with an exhale on the left. And then release your hand. Breathe through both nostrils. Notice if you feel any different. And then you can do that little test for yourself again. Notice if your left nostril is open. Notice if your right nostril is open. And sometimes we experience a change with that, sometimes not. So just be present to that. I notice that when I'm awake in the middle of the night, that my left nostril is usually closed off and my right one is open. And so that's one of the ways that I get myself back to sleep, is I do a little Nadi Shodhana, and then I block the right nostril and breathe just through the left. Now if things are jammed in there, if there's sinus issues, then the tissue comes in handy. Okay. Let's go ahead and extend the legs out. Whoops, I'm moving right into Diane's lap. Extend the legs out ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And we're working feet and legs today. Knees bent. Start with knees bent and draw your toes back towards you. And then point the toes away, and the knees might go straight, they might not. I want you to make sure that you're taking care of your back as you're in this movement. So if you're finding yourself really rolling back, then I want you to bend your knees more, and you can even hold on to your legs. Pull the toes back at you, point them away, and you may notice that as you're going, that it's not just the legs or the feet that you're feeling things in. And that is perfectly legitimate because everything's connected. So I always think it's funny when I say, hey, we're going to work on this zone of the body, because really anytime we work on one zone of the body, we're working on the whole body. Let's go around in circles with those ankles and notice. So both ankles are going in the same direction. If you want to add the wrist too, sometimes I like to add the wrist as I'm working in this way. It may feel good, it may not. Mm-hmm. And then let's reverse directions. And you may notice that one direction is smoother for your body than the other. Or maybe they're both equally smooth or equally annoying. Okay. And then shake things out. Shake things out. And let's extend the legs away. And draw your right knee in towards you. Cross, if you can, your right ankle over your left thigh. And I want you to take your two thumbs, and we're going to do a little squeezing. So what I'm doing, let me see if I can give you a visual. I'm taking my thumbs and I'm squeezing the pad of my foot here. And then I'm going to squeeze down. And when I get to my heel, the whole hand is going to smush the heel. Okay? And then we'll work our way back up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then you can work out to the edges. And maybe you mush the edges, spaces. And then cup your heel and shake it. So there's lots of nerve tissue where the nervous system ends. Squeeze your toes. So these distal ends, the ends of the feet, the ends of the nervous system are rife with nerve tissue. So this is a great way. The feet are a great way to work the whole body, just like the hands are a great way to work the whole body. Go ahead and mobilize your ankles. So bring your fingers on either side and just wobble your ankle around as much as you can. Some of us have really mobile joints, sort of more fluid or length in our ligature. Other people have really nice firm joints. And so you just notice what kind of, some people can shake their feet a lot, what kind of joint structure you've got going on. Go ahead and release the right side. And we'll check in, see how that right foot feels. So maybe you close your eyes for a moment and just feel down to your right foot. And feel down to your left foot and notice if there is a sensation difference in that space. Now, pardon me, we're going to draw the left foot in and cross the ankle over the thigh. And you're going to do the same thing, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So squeeze down the center of the foot. And when you get down to your heel, give it a nice cupping. You cup and kind of squish. And then walk up the center. Are we having foot positions? And then go out the outside edge. So go down the outside, the medial and lateral borders of the foot. I'm getting ready to teach anatomy this weekend. Can you tell? I'm using all my anatomy words. This week has been rife with anatomy. Okay, and then sort of wave the foot around, grab either side, wave, wave, wave. And then squeeze your toes, each toe, squeeze it. So we're just encouraging this. My massage training is in Swedish circulatory massage, which is just about getting blood flow around the body. So here, and the thought is that when you move blood around the body, that you enhance the immune system, that you enhance our sense of the nervous system and our sense of well-being. And so that's a lot of what we're doing right here. It's just like this. Oh, hey, that's right, I have a foot. Isn't it nice to have a foot? And then mobilize, shake it out. You can be violent, you can throttle your foot. That'll be a good image for Facebook. Foot throttling, yes! Okay, we're gonna put that right on the club's page. I'm sure they'll be loving that. Okay, and then extend your legs out away from you. And rest your hands in your lap and feel your right foot and your left foot. It's nice to have two legs. Means we're gonna be able to stand up later. Whoa, whoa, yippee. Okay, and now let's squeeze the legs. So take your hands, big pinchers, and squeeze your legs all the way down. As you get lower, you're gonna encounter more bone on the front edge of things. And as you go higher, you're gonna encounter more meat, okay? So when you're into more meat, you may want to focus on the outside of things. You may want to focus on the inside of things. You might want to just check and see, where are you feeling more things? Where are things more fun? You could focus on the right leg. Meaty. 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 The dinosaurs will live if they get to this house. Okay. And then make sure you do the left leg as well. Nice big squishes. Just big pinches. Make sure you're not hurting yourself, but that you're feeling the body, bringing awareness to the whole leg space. Okay? Draw the knees in, give yourself a big hug. Oh, a big hug. And then we're going to take the knees over to the right, put your hands down, come hands and knees, tuck your toes under, hands towards the knees, lift your knees off, roll through your feet, take your hands to your hips, come on up. All right, thank you, Annie Adamson, for that system. What? There's even a system for how to stand. Okay, so then face forward. And I'm going to get a little technical about arrangement for hands and feet and legs and all of that. Look down at your feet and make sure that your feet are parallel to one another. And you want to be more parallel with the outside edges. So my foot, you can see it there, my foot is not a complete rectangle. It is a triangle of sorts. If you continued your vectors down, right? Line segments, they're going to intersect. So Also, geometry's been happening. Okay, so you want the outside edges of the feet to be more, I want the outside of your feet, edges of your feet, to be more parallel than not. And then lift your toes up and wiggle them around. Ooh, wiggle the toes, and then see how much differentiation you can get. Can you set your pinky toe down by itself on either side and then lift it up? Can you set your big toe down by itself? Oh, on either side, and then lift it up. Can you do each of your toes through it like a wave? Sometimes it goes pink and the whole floor gets grabbed. Okay? And then push down in the floor. Try to curl your toes in. Oh, maybe they turn white. It's kind of exciting. And then release them down. Stretch them up, lift them up. Press your toes down, squeeze. You might feel your whole foot arching away from the floor. And then release down. And then I want you to lift your toes and wave through. Wave through. So you can do fun things with your arms if you want. Carrie Ann's going to add audio here. But what I really want to have happen is that you find the inside edge of your feet and the outside edge of your feet. So resettle your toes. Feel the inside edge of your big toe, the outside edge of your pinky toe, the inside edge of the ball of your foot, the outside edge of your ball of your foot, inner heel, outer heel, okay? And then soften the knees and touch your calves. So feel your calf muscles back here. I want them to be active. I want you to feel like you are pulling up, like you're putting on boots back here, all right? So they're actively lifting up from the floor, and then they're gonna push forward, all right? And that's gonna help us with the knee business. So the calves are gonna push forward. The quadricep action is to lift as well, and they're gonna move back. I have magic knees. I have this hyperextension thing, and I show you that in the classroom all the time, all right? So that's why I emphasize the calf business, is because my knees bob back. I have to be more active in my calves so I can find the action in my quadriceps. So check and see if that's your reality. If it isn't, you don't have to worry as much about the calf moment because maybe it's already there for you, okay? Then check in with your kneecaps. Make sure your kneecaps are lining up with the space between your second and third toe. So we've got that business happening, okay? And then gather your inner thighs together, send them back, straighten the legs, take your tailbone down. Turn your hands so your palms are facing forward and roll the shoulders back. Press the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. We are currently standing in mountain pose, in Tadasana. Feel this in your feet. Maybe with your eyes closed, you lift your toes and reactivate. Notice where you went quiet in your feet. Reactivate, settle your toes back down. Bend into your knees a little bit. Reactivate the calves, reactivate the fronts of the thighs, the quadriceps. Take your tail down, lengthen again. Broaden your collarbones again. Bring your arms right in front of you, shoulder blades onto your back. Press down through the tail, lift up through the crown of your head, and reach your fingers higher. And maybe for you that's not going to feel good today. Maybe you'll keep them lower. Maybe you soften your elbows out to the sides. But press down through the feet and rise up through the crown of your head. 3 more breaths. Through both nostrils, if you can. Putting it all together. We're going to have mad callbacks today. It's going to be awesome. Inhale right where you are. Exhale, release your hands down. You can let your arms swing and soften the legs. Okay? So today is going to be a lot about looking at where our legs are in space, but let yourself also find a little bit of playfulness. So let's swivel the hips around, find the interaction. Where do the hips and I feel like we're excluding Lance right now. Where do the hips and the legs connect? Where's the pelvis? Where the torso and the legs connect? Find that space, move all around it. Yeah. And let yourself soften your knees. All right, now we're all dancing. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and Step the feet wide. Imagine that. Step your feet wide. Yeah. Okay? And then look down and notice if your feet are in the same line. Okay? So Carrie-Ann's got a great cheat. She's got lines in her mat. Lucky her. The rest of us have to think about, are our heels in line with one another? And then I want you to bend your knees and soften. Yeah. Soften, just softening your knees. She's saying, what do you mean by soften?
Yeah,
soften your knees, yeah.
Bend your knees and then soften your knees.
And then think about the inner groins moving back. Straighten your legs. Bend your knees, calves go forward, quads go back, straighten your legs. Yes. Bend your knees, calves forward, lift your toes, settle the toes back down, inner thighs back, tailbone down. Straighten your arms out. Reach up, turn your palms, reach up. Nicely done. Bring your hands towards your heart. Bend into your knees, lengthen forward, hands towards the floor. So your hands might be right under your shoulders. You might reach out away from you some, or you might say, hey, the floor is too far away, I'm going to grab a chair. Now I want you to bend your knees. Lift your toes. Move the weight towards the ball of your foot. Settle your toes back down. Try to straighten your legs without letting your spine become a rainbow. So a rounded spine. We don't want to go for that rounded spine. Keep the spine. Yes. Bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your legs. Yes, nice. Exhale, bend your knees. And inhale, straighten your legs. And then check in. Can you think about the calves moving forward? Think about the quadriceps lifting up. And then move your inner groins back as you walk your hands in a little closer. Yeah. So you may discover that you need to bend your knees more to make that happen. We're just looking for sensation, mostly, primarily right now, in the backs of the legs. In this Pasarita Padottanasana. This is a wide leg forward fold. Soften the knees, hands to your hips. Inhale, draw yourself upright, and then step or hop your feet towards each other. Stand tall. All right. Let's go in a different direction, in a different zone. So turn towards the short edge of your mat. Right foot is going to go back. Drop your, actually let's not do that yet. So go back about 2.5, 3 feet. And then we're going to come high on the right toes and drop the right heel down. You can soften, the left knee can be playful with you. Drop down towards the right heel, lift up. Drop down towards the right heel, lift up. Drop down towards the right heel, really plant it. Find inside and outside edge. In this one, we think a lot about the outside edge of the foot being present, but I notice if I do that, sometimes I lose the medial border, the inside edge. So find, for me, it's inner heel I need and outer edge. And then let's straighten out the left leg in front of us. Bend into that knee. Inhale, straighten the forward leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the forward leg. Take your hands back behind you. Just rest the backs of your hands on your bum. Roll your shoulders back. Engage the navel. Lengthen forward. And let's make it a little flow. Bend the knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, straighten the leg. Lean forward. Bend the knee. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, straighten the leg, lean forward. Bend the knee, inhale, lengthen up. Sweep your arms up, this final like ta-da! And then step your feet together. Whew. A little burning?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we got that burn going. I'm definitely feeling my right calf. All right, so if you got somebody nearby, you can grab their shoulder and shake your right foot out, your left foot out. Okay. Let's find our left leg as much as we're feeling our right leg. So step back with the left foot. 2.5, 3 feet. Come up on your back toes. Yes, hands on your hips. Drop the heel as low towards the floor as you can get it. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop down. And keep working. We're inhaling up and exhaling down. And I just want you to see what's the information that you're receiving from this back leg. One more time. Up. Drop the heel down. Lift your toes up. Get that inside edge of your foot, outside edge of your foot. Bend into your forward knee. Settle your toes down. Ooh, yes. And let's play in the forward knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. And let's add that lean. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, glide forward. Bend your knee. Inhale, upright. Exhale, lengthen, fold. Bend your knee, inhale, come upright. So give yourself space between your feet. We're going one more time. Inhale, exhale, bend, inhale, up. Maybe you float your arms up. You feel triumphant in this Virabhadrasana one. And exhale, step the feet together. Oh, and let's go ahead and shake out the left leg. Shake, shake it out. All right, we got musical accompaniment even. Okay, let's now experiment with the feet themselves. So, stand up on your, let's see, bend your right knee, come up on your right toes, take your knee out. So there's external rotation. This is hip space, okay? That's nice. We're gonna do external and internal. That's great. We'll preview on tomorrow's class. Yeehaw, okay? But what we wanna get into is the movement in the ankle joint. So see if you can keep your knee headed forward and move your ankle around. And then notice if you're sinking into the hip, right? Maybe try not to sink into the hip. Good luck. Go the other way with your ankle. And it might feel good, I don't know if you can see on the floor here, it might feel good to let your top of your foot roll towards the floor. For me, that feels really nice on the top of the foot. For some people, that's not going to feel so awesome. Okay, stand on your right foot, check and see. We're looking to really broaden the surface of the foot so we can get as much of our weight, as much surface area to stand on as possible. I know it doesn't make for neat, delicate, sexy feet, but it makes for stable posture and a stable spine. Come up on your left toes, do a little external rotation. Internal rotation, external rotation. This is hip joint movement. Preview for tomorrow. Coming attractions. Yes. Tomorrow, hip freedom. Then the world. No. Core strength on Thursday. Oh boy. Okay, now keep your knees stationary and mobilize your ankle. So it's not like a hard stable, it's just not letting the hip do the work so much as encouraging the ankle to do the movement. And you can roll across the top of your foot if that's interesting to you, or you can say, not interesting, thanks. There are many things that I have encountered in yoga classes that I don't find interesting. I sometimes choose to do them anyways because I feel like afterwards they were useful. But if something's really hurting, try again tomorrow. Next week, we'll be here. All right, stand tall. Check out both feet. Did I say reverse?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Did I reverse that?
I reversed too. I hope you did at home. If you didn't, we'll give you a breath or two. Otherwise, come to your Tadasana. Check the outside edges of your feet. Parallel. Yeah. Okay. Step wide. Step wide. She's yawning at me. You can't see her, but she's yawning. There she is. She stepped wide. Okay. Turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee. Lift your right toes up. Straighten your right leg. Bend your knee. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Bend your knee. Straighten out your right leg. Left leg. Okay, already I'm back in the classroom. Okay, turn the right toes out. Lift your toes up. Don't bend your knee yet. Look at where your knee is, where your kneecap is. Line it up so it's going second, third toe space. For me, that means I have to think about drawing the outer right hip back a bit. So still, everything's connected, right? Hip class also. Bend the knee, bring it in line so your kneecap is in line with the space between your second and third toe. And then settle your toes down. Push your heel down and gather your heels towards one another like you're trying to wrinkle your mat. Oh yeah. Float your arms up. Maybe gaze off your right hand. 2 more breaths. Exhale, release your hands down. Come up on your right toe, a heel, shoot, turn forward. Switch, take the left toes out. Okay? Keep your left leg straight. Look at your kneecap. Lift your toes up. Line up your kneecap with that space between the second and third toe. You may need to take that external rotation in the hip. You may need to draw your outer hip back. Then bend into your left knee. Line it up with the gap between your second and third toe. And then think heels pull together. So your right foot is trying to get to your left foot. Your left foot's trying to get to your right foot. Float your arms. Gaze across your left hand. 2 more breaths. Release your arms. Straighten out your left toe, leg. Turn your left toes forward. Heel toe, bring everything together. Right. Bring your feet together and notice how that feels. So for some of us, this is going to feel super like, yes, finally my legs are together. And for some of us, it's going to be like, whoa, okay? So if you're in a whoa space, you can either put your hand down on something or you can step your feet a little wider, okay? We're going to challenge things. Come up towards your toes and roll down towards your heels, lift your toes up. You may soften your knees to do that. Come up towards your toes. Oh, feel those calf muscles. Roll through, lift your toes up. Come up towards your toes. Oh, does it feel like ballet class yet? And then come up towards your toes and stay. Gather maybe stay. Gather your inner ankles towards each other, those medial malleoli. Oh, because they want to pull out. Yeah, I'm using my arms as balance here. Oh, and then release down and pause. Notice how much more the calf muscles are alive. The backs of the shins are saying, yes, we feel it. Okay, step your feet wide. Turn your right toes out. Bend into your right knee. Just so you can find that alignment, kneecap in line with second, third toe space. Make your back leg straight and strong. Straighten out the right leg. The forward leg. Straighten out the forward leg now as well. Yes. So notice that look at your musculature at your knee. So as we come straight, the knee can kind of go soft and limpid. All right? No limp. No limpness in this knee. Think about in the Iyengar cue is lift your kneecap. So if that works for you, think about lifting the kneecap up towards your waist. Now, your right hand is going to be a guide, keeping your inner thigh moving back, your knee moving out. As you lean down, I don't want you to go further than hand to knee. Reach your left arm up towards the sky in this triangle pose. So check and see, look down at your knee. Where is your kneecap pointing? See if you can find where it's pointing, broaden it out. Yes. And then pull those heels together. Oh, yes. Active, active legs. Inhale, draw yourself up. Whew. Exhale, release your hands down. Turn your right toes forward, left toes out. Bend into your left knee. Make sure it doesn't cross your ankle. So if you need to take your feet wider, take your feet wider. Challenge yourself. Okay. Then, left hand is going to go down to the inside of the left leg.
Are we straight?
To help you, yeah, we're going to straighten in just a moment. To help you guide the knee. Now straighten out the left leg. Keep that kneecap lined up with the space between your second and third toe. As you do that, you may notice that the inside edge of your foot gets light. For me, that is a truth. I roll to the outside edge of my foot then. So think about big toe mound. That's why we've lifted the toes. Big toe mound goes down. Knee goes broad. Left hand to the inside of that knee, right arm up. Here we are, Trikonasana. Utthita is extended. We're not quite to an extended triangle pose. We're more of a shorter stance triangle pose here. But breathe in it. Notice your feet. Pull the heels towards one another. And then inhale, draw yourself upright. Exhale, step, hop, jump the feet, move them together. Okay. We're going to go towards Utkatasana, awkward seat. Take your feet, we're going to start wide-ish. Take your feet outer hip distance, and you can do wiggly things. My mom made me, I hope she's watching. Hi, Mom. My mom made me this really incredible big bag. It's a bunch of sheet material. I could show it to you. It's a bunch of sheet material that's a big sack, and she calls it a dance sack. And it was designed so that I could have babies inside it with me and nurse. The one she made me when I was 10 was only big enough for me. It was a single size. But this morning I was doing my yoga inside of my dance sack. And what it is it develops proprioception. It develops that sense of where we are in space, which is what we're trying to do in yoga. We're trying to find where are our bodies in space and how much sensitivity can we build into them. Okay, turn your toes out slightly, okay? Bend into your knees, and we're gonna really take the booty back. So stick your bottom back, stick your bottom back, stick your bottom back, stick your bottom back, yeah. Maybe bring your elbows to your thighs, lift your toes up. Now see, can you move weight towards the balls of your feet while you're keeping weight in your heels? Settle your toes down, lift your belly off of your thighs, reach your arms out in front of you, drop your tail down, lift your chest up. Carrie's really going low, she's going for it. Not everybody has to go that low. I notice as I go lower that my toes want to really lift. So I'm going to move weight towards my toes and maybe be a little higher. And then stand up, push the air back behind you. Inhale, sink down. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, sink down. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, sink down. Exhale, stand it up. And as I do this, I think about the calves pushing forward while my quadriceps are lifting up. Let your calves push forward as you stand up, quads lifting. And then in that sitting down place, we're letting the hamstrings engage as we sit down. Push back up. We're going to go twice more. Sit down and push back up. Sit down and push back up. And then move your feet so they're just under your hips. And close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart. Feel the movement under your palms. So we want, when we come into that triangle pose, we're now going to go for the Utthita version, the extended version. We want that sense of coming out, that when we're coming out of chair, where the quadriceps are lifting up and the calf muscles are shooting forward to get our legs to come straight. We want that sense of engagement as we're in triangle pose. So go ahead, step or hop wide. Miss Bonding over here, how late were you up?
Well, no, it's a matter of getting oxygen into my brain. I always yawn during yoga.
She yawns during yoga.
Me too.
Oxygen to her brain. Okay, turn your right toes out. Turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee. Okay. Pull your heels towards one another. So you have a sense of both legs being engaged. And now draw the right leg straight, thinking about coming out of the squat. And then bend into the knee like you're squatting down into it. Pull the heels towards one another, and then take the leg straight. One more. Bend into the knee. Take that leg straight with power. Keep the power. Float your arms up. Keep the power. Let your right hand glide down your right leg, any amount. So if you can go towards the floor, you may, but then notice what your kneecap is doing. Yeah, and notice if you got light in any part of your foot. So when we go for a full utthita, it's extended. So we're pulling the heels together. We got to pull ourselves back to center as we're radiating out. Another Iyengar thing that they say is from the core to the periphery and from the periphery back to the core. Extend those fingers. Oh, yes. Maybe you're feeling your hamstrings right now. I don't know. Bend your forward knee. Inhale, draw yourself upright. Turn your right toes forward. Turn your left toes out. Bend into your left knee. We're going to do that little squatting action again. Bend into the left knee. Think calf and quad moving in opposition to straighten the leg. Bend the knee. Think calf and quad. They're moving in opposition. Straighten the leg. Bend the knee. Calf and quad move in opposition. Straighten the leg. Reach out with your left hand. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then any amount. Pull the heels towards one another. And make sure that your weight is even on your big toe and your pinky toe. Yeah. If your back is saying, then you give yourself a break. And you say, actually, I'm allowed to bend my knee because my body is telling me so. Okay, so always, 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 the cue is to listen to your body first, your yoga teacher second, your partner probably should come first. Oh well. Okay, bend your forward knee, inhale, draw yourself upright. Oh yeah, step or hop your feet all the way together. Okay. So we've done a lot with strengthening the fronts of the legs. Let's give ourselves a little opening to the fronts of those legs. And then we're going to do it in two ways. One is standing. So you may wish to bring yourself closer to something you can hold on to. You may be fine in the middle of the room. As always, good body mechanics apply. So as you're reaching back to find your foot, if you're going to get your foot today, you want to think about external rotation in your shoulder joint, okay? So palm going back. I'll show you here. The outer spiraling in that shoulder as we grab the right foot, okay? Then your option, left hand to left hip, left hand to table, chair. Kick back with your right foot as you draw your tail down. You might reach up. You might not be feeling that fancy today, okay? What we really want is sensation in the front of the right leg. So find that. I find more if I draw my tailbone down and squeeze my knees towards each other. 3 more breaths. Release. Settle your right foot down. Notice if you need to turn to find your other side. Left arm back. Externally rotating that shoulder joint. Why not practice good body mechanics? Bend your left knee, grab your left foot. If you don't grab your foot, this is that option there for the strap or the belt, and you just get your ankle in that space, okay, and hold on. So for me, I find more engagement if I draw my inner thighs together and push the knee back as I take my tailbone down. You can add your right arm if you're feeling all fancy schmancy, but it is not necessary. Find that length. You want length in the front of the right quadricep. Exhale and release down. Okay, we are going to come down to hands and knees. You may want that towel, that handy dandy towel for your knees. And we're not, okay, I'm getting cart and horse problems here. Okay. Bring your left foot forward, your right knee on your blanket or your towel, okay? Then take your hips back so your hips are right over your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, lean in. So you could have your hands on your forward thigh as you come back up. You could have hands on blocks at the floor. We're just going to bend and come back up. And you could add a little running arms with it. You could feel like you're going to be victorious. All right. So this next time that we lower the pelvis down, we're going to stay. Do bring your hands to your left thigh. Pull your knees towards each other. Okay? Wrap the right hip forward, left hip back. Take your tail down. And I want you just to go till you feel something in the front of your right thigh. Okay? For some people, it will feel better to tuck your back toes under.
So what are you having us do here?
I just want you to lean, I want you to find a stretch in the front of this thigh. You finding it? Yeah, okay. And then draw your throat back, why not? Whew. Shades of yesterday. Okay, come back up and bring your left knee beside your right knee, so you're kneeling. You can go hands and knees if you want. And then we'll bring the right foot forward between your hands. However, whatever fun things you have to do to get there. And then we'll do the same thing. So we'll come up and we'll move in and out of it. Get situated. So stack right over your knee and then lean in. And come back, stacking right over your left knee and lean in. Oh yeah. And come back over your knee and lean in. And then you could add some running arms if you want. A little something to add inspiration to it. You can race with your practice buddy. Maybe on a relay team. You ready for that baton handoff, Carrie Ann? Oh man. Okay, don't fall over. And then we're gonna come forward. Hands are gonna go to the right thigh. Lean in. You might tuck your back toes under. Take your tailbone down. Think right hip back, left hip forward to center the stretch in the back thigh. You might come a little lower. Inhale. Exhale, back up. Bring your right knee with your left. Take your big toes together. And then we're going to walk ourselves back towards child's pose. If child's pose is not an option for your body, then you come up and do puppy dog pose with your forehead on the floor or on a book or a blanket and your arms extending on ahead, hips over knees. Okay. And breathe. Walk yourself back up, hands and knees, and we're going to bring some focus into the hamstrings. So go ahead and bring your right leg up. So as you're in hands and knees, bring your right leg up, float your right leg, bend your right knee, and you're going to think about your foot kicking towards the ceiling. Here we are, okay? Foot kicking towards the ceiling, and we're going to pulse. So the critical thing here is that you draw your navel point in, so it's just the back of your leg working. Outer left hip's going to move back, and you're going to kick your heel towards the, pulse your heel towards the sky. So just come to lifted, come to neutral, and then pulse towards the sky. Once, twice, 3 times. Kick up and stay lifted. Yeah, straighten your arms, lift your head. Yes. And then release down. So we really want to get the hamstrings sort of going. Yeah, we're here. Lift your left leg up and back. Bend your left knee. Draw your toes. Yeah, bend your left knee. Yes. And then we're going to lift just the, don't let the hips go, just the leg higher. Once, twice, 3 times. Kick it up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Notice if your low back is taking the strain. Incorporate the belly. Take the tailbone back. Yes. And then release down. Okay. We're going to go ahead, press back. Child's pose or puppy dog. Take your break. Good thing I'm practicing with people in the room, because otherwise I'd have you guys do 3 more reps of that with no break. So, good thing they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing we're here.
Good thing. All right, come back up, hands and knees. Lift your right leg. Bend the right knee. So you're getting both the extension of the hip joint and the flexion of the knee joint that the hamstring does. And you're going to pulse up towards the ceiling 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pulse as high as you, stay up as high as you can while engaging the navel point, drawing the shoulder blades together, lengthening, yes, through the back of your neck. Yeah, use the hamstrings. The hamstrings are really important in the strength of our backs. So see, nothing is ever in isolation. What is this? Leg day? Forget it. Put your knees down and go ahead, extend your left leg. Draw the left toes back towards the knee as you bend the knee. Yup, pulse 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. Nice job. Lift it higher. Yes. Now work the rest of your spine. Belly button in, tailbone long. Be with it. And then release down. Press back. This next one, there's going to be an option to keep the knee bent, working both angles of the hamstring, or to take the leg straight, okay? The temptation with all of these is that the outer hip wants to flip out, but the knee wants to go out to the side. We want external rotation. So it's really important that we're lengthening the external rotators and strengthening the adductors, strengthening the inner thighs as we do this work. Come up, hands and knees. This is the last cycle, and then we'll do some wrist relief. And Carrie-Ann's going to remind me of that. Yes, draw your navel point in, ribs go back, lengthen the back of your neck, float your right leg up. Choose extended or choose bent. Notice how much that right hip, the right side of the booty, wants to fly up, and then pulse. Once, twice, 3 times. Keep it lifted. And if you want the balance angle, you add the left arm forward. Only if you want that, right? Oh, and then you release everything down. Take your left leg up. Drop the outer hip down, lengthen through the inner thigh. Outer right hip will go back. Tone the belly. 3 pulses. Once, twice, 3 times. Lift it a little higher. Oh, if you want to add the right arm. She's laughing at me now. Yes, because it's hard work. And then release down and press back. Let's stretch them out, okay? So I'm going to give you an option towards downward facing dog. Your body may be ready for that today. Your body may be in the mood for hands on the wall or hands on the chair for your downward facing dog. So please take the accommodations that you need for your body at home. All right, extend your arms forward. Spread your fingers out. Take up as much space with your hands as we were taking up with the feet. Tuck your toes under. Come hands and knees. Bend your knees. Lift your knees off the earth. Lift your knees off the earth. Press your chest towards your thighs. Chest towards thighs. Then if the legs go straight, the legs go straight. If they don't, they don't. We want to think again about that knee extension, right? So the calves are moving down towards the floor. The quadriceps are trying to reach the wall behind you. And you breathe. Think about expanding the fingers to take more weight across the whole hand so you can lift the forearms up, Draw the shoulder blades onto your back and get the whole body stretch that down dog Adho Mukha Svanasana offers. Three more breaths. And bend your knees a little bit more and push your chest towards your thighs. Yes, awesome. And then release, knees down. Oh, press back. Child's pose might feel good. Puppy dog might feel good. Nothing might feel good. Oh, we have used time today. Good job, everybody. Wowza. Okay, come up and let's do a little wrist release. So you can sit back on your heels, you can sit on your towels, you can sit cross-legged, however works for your body. Bring your palms together, and then we're just gonna roll through things. So roll your pinky fingers towards each other, and then the backs of the hands. And you wanna add a fair amount of pressure as you're moving. This always makes me think of a kaleidoscope. And then go the other way. So we really want to feel all of those connections. The beauty of this period of time is that we have so much technology that we can hang out with each other in this way and take care of each other in this way. The bummer is that these hands are getting quite the workout. Make a tourniquet. Your index finger and your thumb are going to make a tourniquet around one of your wrists, and you can shake your hand. Okay, and then rotate around in a circle 3 times, and then go 3 times the other way. And you really want to be putting pressure into the carpal bones, the bones that make up the wrist. And then I want you to flop back and forth, flop back and forth. Okay, it's going to get slightly complicated. Here goes. Your left thumb is going to go in the crease of your right hand, and then your left fingers are going to push your hand down and away. Your thumb is pushing forward. Extend your right arm, draw your shoulder blade onto your back, and then the back of your hand is reaching into your fingers are pushing it back down. Thumb is pushing forward. And then release. Just feel the hand you've been working with. The rain started up again. Okay, we're going to focus on the other hand. Make a tourniquet. Shake it out. Shake it out. So you really want to feel, so there you can feel the long bones, so that you want to be at the heads of the long bones there and in the small bone spaces. We're moving them into relationship with each other. 3 times around in a circle one way. 3 times the other way. Flop it forward and back. Maybe one side's more creaky. Then your thumb is going to go on your wrist. Fingers are going to go on the back of the hand. Push the hand forward with the thumb. Draw back with the shoulder blade. Sit up tall, release your shoulders. We can stretch the wrists and not get involved with the shoulders. I don't know how. Somebody tell me. How? It's possible. And then shake everything out. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, you're going to need your belt. I'm going to find these guys. Lance's got a strap. Clarion's going to get one. I'll get it for her. Lie down on your back. Draw your right knee into your chest. And we're going to stretch out the hamstrings. Okay. If you want that towel for your head, take it. Oh, okay. She's making interesting yoga choices. Okay. Draw your right knee into your chest, and then slip the strap around the ball of your right foot, and kick the right leg up towards the sky. Oh, everybody's favorite. Now, we talked about knee placement a lot today. I've been yammering about that. So look at your knee. Bend your knee a bit. Turn your knee so that your outer hip is doing that external rotation. It's never just one body part in yoga. Draw that outer hip away, and then as you straighten the leg, keep the knee in line with your armpit. So as it straightens, it wants to go tourist. It wants to become a tourist and check out what the left side of the body is doing. It's like, hey, what are you doing over there? And you want to say no. Stay focused on your own paper, okay? And then look at that amazing foot you have. And notice, is the pinky toe side of the foot moving towards the ceiling faster? Is the big toe side of the foot moving towards the ceiling faster? And you want to see if you can even that out as well. It's a lot of work. If this feels okay, and Carrie Ann's going to make her own decision. I am not going to force her into it, I hope. Well, because you might decide that you're being the model. If this is feeling okay, then you intensify it by extending the left leg. If it's not feeling okay, then you keep that left foot on the floor. She's thinking about it. I notice in her body that her knee is now become a tourist again, and her foot is doing that fun thing. So make sure that your knee is not being a tourist as you're stretching the back of your leg. Make your hip do the touring. And you could imagine somebody coming in, just to feel okay if I do it. You can imagine somebody coming towards your bottom, grabbing your right thigh, pulling your outer hip away and pushing your calf towards your face. It's the beauty of having people around is you can get an assist. And then release this side. And we'll draw the left knee in. Hug it in. Bend the left knee and line that kneecap up with your armpit. And get picky about it. It's okay to be picky in yoga. You just don't want to be mean while you're being picky. Line it up. Think about the outer left hip moving towards your right heel. So I'm going to just line up there a little bit. Okay. Think about this outer hip. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. So you want to keep some weight over on the right side. Line up your knee. Look at how you're presenting your foot towards the ceiling, big toe, pinky toe, and then see how much you can extend this leg. Oh. And maybe not very far today, maybe super far. If you want to add the left leg long, you can add the left leg long. It's not going to happen. Okay. For Carrie Ann, it's not happening. I'm going to hold on to her outer hip. You can imagine somebody doing this for you. Coming and grabbing your outer hip and then leaning into your calf. And I'm not going to go very far because I know she's already in some excitement. And we're going to breathe together. And you just say a big thank you to your fabulous strong legs for holding you up, for supporting you during yoga, for supporting you.
Not done with this stretch yet.
Not done with this stretch yet. I was going to give Dad some loving over here. For supporting you through yoga, for supporting you while you're in your quarantine space, for supporting you in all of the other wonderful endeavors you had in your life and all of the future endeavors you hope to have. And then release out. Hug both knees into your chest. Both knees in. Hugga, hugga, hugga. And we're going to take a twist. Drop your arms out to the sides. Oh, you could slide your towel between your knees if that feels better for you to have that support. And then drop the knees over to one side. We'll take 5 breaths on that side. And you can always play with the placement of your knees and your hips. You can always bring your knees higher towards your armpit and notice how that changes things. You can bring your knees away from your elbow and see how that changes things. So go to the space that feels the most interesting to you. Roll the shoulder that is away from your knees more towards the floor. I said 5 breaths, but you know, they're yoga breaths. meaning at the teacher's discretion, right? All right, switch sides. Squeeze the knees together, lift up, move through, and take it over to the other side. Roll the shoulder back to the floor and decide which angle you want your knees in. They can go closer to your face, they can go away from your face. For some of us, we need to stretch around the pelvis. For some of us, we need to stretch in the outer hip. For some of us, we need to stretch everywhere. So it doesn't matter which angle we choose. You just enjoy the heck out of all of it. Keep breathing. And then bring your knees up. Hug both of them in towards your chest. Notice if you want for yourself a little hip stretch, a little happy baby space, or if you're ready to release your arms and legs and take yourself right into Shavasana. We also didn't do a back bend today, so if you want to add that space in, back bends will happen tomorrow as part of our hip space. Okay. Cover yourself, bring your legs out long. It is still National Poetry Month.
It will be
So
for the rest of the month.
it will be for the whole month of April. I know.
Whoa.
Whoa. Amazing
I don't know how
that.
that works.
And I have another poem for you. This one's called Living by Denise Levertov. The fire in leaf and grass, so green it seems each summer the last summer. The wind blowing the leaves, shivering in the sun, each day the last day. A red salamander, so cold and so easy to catch, dreamily moves his delicate feet and long tail. I hold my hand open for him to go, each minute the last minute. See if you too can let the palms of your hands go and find that space between the grasping for every moment and allowing each moment to bloom, letting each breath arrive as it arrives. Letting each sensation move into the focal point of your life and slide back out again. We practice this watching so that we can become better discerners in our lives. So when we can notice the difference between inherited panic from the people around us and true panic, so that we can get that extra beat to decide how we're going to respond. Are we going to respond in frustration, in impatience, in anger? Or are we going to respond with that beat, with discernment, with a choice? We're going to move into our meditation. You can allow your meditation to happen right here on the floor, or you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and roll over to your side and ease yourself up to a seat. We're working this week with a counted meditation, and I'll tell you the pattern and then we'll practice. We're counting down from 100. Between 100 and 51, each number is an inhale or an exhale. Once we get to 50, it's the whole breath, a whole inhale, a whole exhale. Once you get to 20, if you get there, usually it takes me about 10-15 minutes to get there, so we may not get there today. Then you let go of the counting and you allow yourself to stay longer than it would have taken you to get to number 1. So give yourself time. Stay where you are in Shavasana to do this, or come up to a seat. Now we're going to start with 100. I'm going to count a few of them. My breath is going to be a different length than yours, probably. Mine may be faster, yours may be faster. So move into your own space. Start with just feeling your breath. Let it rise into your belly and flow back out. Let your breath dance in just as on a breeze. This next inhalation is 100. Exhale, 99. Inhale, 98. Exhale, 97. Inhale, 96. Exhale, 95. You keep going. Follow 3 more breaths. Stay with your meditation if you need it. Stay in your Shavasana if you need it. The light in me honors, appreciates, adores that same light in each and every one of you. Be good to yourself today. Thank you. Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.